So my name's Chloe Crettien, and I live in Portland, Maine.
Nice. And you're part of this last cohort of the AI-powered UX course. If you had to describe this course in one sentence to a fellow designer, what would you say?
I would say expansive for one word. Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Of course, yeah. It's really hard to narrow down to one word.
Well,
Um,
one sentence.
one sentence. I would say it's opened up my perspective so that I can think more expansively, and yeah, it's just like helped me understand my knowledge and process, which has then helped me be able to produce better products
So expensive
faster.
is expanding, make bigger, not expensive as in the
Oh,
cost.
no, expansive. Yes, expanding my
Expanding, right? Okay.
perspectives. Yes.
And before you joined the course, what was your relationship with AI was like?
Ooh, yeah. So I'd say I used AI, mainly ChatGPT, for some help with writing certain things, but my relationship was largely fear-based. And that fear mostly was for my fear about job security, my fear about like just the ethics of AI and the environmental impact that it was having or is having. So yeah, I would say it was quite fear-based on several levels.
And what was or were the problems that you're trying to solve in your work and career by joining the course if you were afraid of this thing?
Yeah. So mainly for securing a stable job, I'm considering myself more early career. I'm about 3 years into
Mhm.
UX and UI design and product design. So I wanted to work towards solving that, not saying that this course was going to be the solution, but I would just wanted to keep educating myself.
Mm,
And I also wanted to learn what else was out there. So, like I said, I mainly just used ChatGPT. I had tried a few other things for design, but kind of with fail. Like I just knew there was so much out there that I just wasn't tapping into. So yeah, those were like my main problems that I wanted to solve.
it was really cool that you like face your fear head on like that. That's really impressive.
Thanks. Yeah, I try.
And how did you first hear about the course?
Yeah, so first I heard about it through the UX support group, and the I'm part of the Slack channel and Slack, like that community for UX support group, which I got into with primarily initially from the book club.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just grateful I came across the book club and participate in that, and then through the larger community saw workshops that you were doing. So that's what got me to the course itself. But yeah, UX support group is a great resource to have. It's amazing.
I'm glad. I'm glad. And the sounds like the workshop helped you made that leap and enroll in the course.
Yeah, big time. And so I took a few workshops with you actually that were based around UI. I believe you offer others, but the AI just piqued my interest because of this fear-based relationship. And yeah, so I took a couple and I knew this course was happening. So I had it kind of in my mind that, oh, I want to take this in the future. But what really landed me on taking the course right now was you were super available and willing to hop on a call with me and just talk about a meeting that I had missed, and also just like asked about myself and my background and what I was looking to gain from learning more about UI. So you just were very available and curious, and that just really solidified for me taking the course now, because it just was so clear you're the type of teacher that I like learning from. And in this field, I so far my education has felt kind of a little lackluster in like community building, and
Mm.
I really thrive from that kind of teaching style and someone that really cares about me as a person versus like, okay, get all the students you can. So it's just a very different experience, and that to me was signaled like, yes, I do definitely
Mm.
want to take this course right now. Like I'm not going to sit on this.
And now that you've finished it, looking back, what was the biggest aha moment during the course?
Oh, yeah, I actually really love this. It's that I basically like my knowledge and my my system of working drives the AI generation. Like what I'm creating, I'm in control and I'm moving the AI forward, and it's not the other way around. So I think that was, I mean, there were many along the way, but I feel like that was a really foundational aha moment for me that happened, I think, in what almost the first class. And it was like, oh, okay, I got this.
Like
Like,
you squash the fear from the
yeah,
beginning.
yeah,
Nice.
kind of right away. Not about the ethics and environmental impact, but you also were super open to chatting about that on our one-on-ones. It wasn't just like, yeah, that's a problem. You're very real about it, and it's an ongoing issue. And I just really appreciate that you were down really open to be communicating about the tough subjects too, not just like, okay, we'll learn this curriculum. Like, this is just my
Mhm.
only objective here. Like, you're very expansive, I would say.
Yeah, and sounds like this course compared to the other courses and other learning experience you've had is more high touch, and you feel like you're here more like not just as a number or a name, but you're more valued. Is that accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. Other courses I've taken, it's either a recognizable name with no face, is what
Mhm.
it felt like, and people that are in your cohort are friendly until the course is over and you never really hear from them, because it's almost like this race, it feels like in other courses, whereas this was we were all in it together, we are all learning together, and I really feel strongly that there's certain people from the cohort I plan to and am already still in contact with, and it just feels like, honestly, exactly what I've been looking for in a course and a cohort, and I just love that humility that everyone's bringing to the table, and we're all here figuring it out together. So, yeah, it's totally, yeah, a different experience in the best way.
Yeah, it's really interesting how when you guys came into the course, there were like a lot of these like, oh, but I'm on this level, I'm on that level. But then towards the end, we're all just in it together and like feeling like this is a safe space for a different conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah, I came in a little nervous being earlier career. I knew I wanted to work on gaining confidence in in this class, and that absolutely happened. And also entering into it, there was a little like self-imposed imposter syndrome, just like immediately pegging myself down, saying like, okay, well, I'm probably more junior, so like give me some leeway here versus like the senior designers where I was like, "Oh man, they must know like everything." And yes, they're knowledgeable, but so am I. And also like we're all just learning this like AI approach together. So it was honestly a leveler in a way that was helpful for me, but it wasn't bringing anybody down saying, "Oh, you're not capable." It was about like, this is where we're at and let's all learn together. It was really cool.
And it was cool right now, just now when you said that. So am I. I love that.
Yeah, and well, this course helped me see that too because I right away you get to see different people's process, and for me it was validating to see that, oh, okay, I really do have a process, and I
Mhm.
think in like systematic ways, and that's helpful for me personally, and also creates results that can be fairly high level fairly quickly. Not saying they're perfect and not saying I figured it all out at all, but it was validating to see for myself and just let myself stop saying that I'm junior. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So what's one AI tool that you frequently use now that you have never heard before you joined the course?
Yeah. That's a great question. Honestly, it's hard to even pick one because all the tools I use now, I'd never used before, and there's so many, and I know there'll be so many more, but so I primarily was using ChatGPT to help me write cover letters or, like, the baseline of a cover letter. Now I primarily use Claude, which I had known about but hadn't used before, and almost all the other ones I hadn't heard about, like, I use Perplexity, I use for my capstone, I used VO, which I had a really positive experience with for the most part. And then I think in my new job coming up, which I got a job while in the course, which was really cool and amazing. Felt like a full circle moment for me with the confidence thing and my goals. But so in my new job, I think I'll use Magic Patterns and Stitch more because it can communicate with Figma. Over answered there, but basically all the tools.
Uh, that was like almost like a trick question
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, that's the thing that sounds like you got out of this course also is that you're not relying on one tool. You're more versatile than that.
Yeah, absolutely. And more adaptable and almost still like looking out for the next one to come up, you know? Um, I really do wanna stay on top. If things just keep evolving so quickly, I wanna stay on top of knowing. And there's others that we learned about that I didn't mention even, so there's just such a plethora. Oh my gosh, yeah, Notebook LM is just, like, so useful, especially for interview prep, that was really helpful for me. But yeah, I feel so much more adaptable now, and just knowing I have certain tools in my back pocket that can help me level up so quickly, it just feels like a game changer.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
And now about the application. So in this course, you did a capstone project,
Mhm.
right? How much time did it take for you to complete that? And how does that compare to the scenario when you didn't have AI tools?
Yeah, so yeah, this one's pretty wild, and I'll preface it by saying the app I designed honestly was pretty complex, like a pretty complex healthcare app. So, I would say conservatively, I probably spent about 20 to 40 hours on it in total
And
using
throughout the
AI
course, right?
for the course, yeah.
Throughout the course, like not just like in one sitting. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, 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 throughout the 6-week course, yeah. So, yeah, so in total, it was probably about 20 to 40 hours, and if I wasn't using AI to help me with it, like, again, conservatively, it would probably take several months to do all the detail that I worked through on each page,
Mhm.
um, and within those several months, it would probably be 20 to 40-hour work weeks working on it,
So it'd be like what, at least three or more than three times longer.
at least.
Mm,
I'd say. Like, for me, I there was just so much reasoning, and I did a lot of reasoning, and it was, like, a lot of thought to how to organize, but it was such a complex app that I think just even in to start from nothing, like I did for the capstone, just creating everything that I did, even just like the research work and persona building, that alone would have taken like several weeks or, you know, at least 2 weeks
mhm.
mapping out and then all the complex screen building. It just yeah, it would have taken at least 3 times longer, I'd say.
Yes. And how do you feel about the quality of the project that you ended up with in the end?
I feel really good. I feel like it was really functional. I'd like to improve the UI. 100% would like to improve the UI. But VO, like we talked in class, VO is not their UI is just a lot more basic. But the functionality was really good.
Was smiling a little bit there because as what we experienced during the class, you have one of the most like complicated prototypes, and
Yeah.
there was like something, yeah, but I could make this better. To me, that means that you realize that you could do a lot more. The
Mhm.
possibility, just like you say, expansive, like you expanded yourself
Yeah.
significantly.
Yeah, and that's why I chose the word expansive because it feels that way where it's like I put about 20 to 40 hours in over the course of 6 weeks into this quite complicated app, and there's so much more I would like to improve upon, but I did a lot of reasoning and planning and thinking that went into what I created, but that's such a solid baseline that then I could bring that and do the fine tuning on my own if I wanted. And it would be like basically my mind feels freed up to do more fine tune work because the bulk of the heavy lifting was completed and
Mm,
modeled out in a way that I felt was like good UX.
mm.
So yeah, it it's just an incredible tool. It feels like a superpower in a way because of yeah, being like being able to reason out something quite complicated. I keep saying that, but it's like when I started the first week, I was like, "Oh, this is a nice idea. I like this idea. I'm going to follow it." And doing the homework that first weekend, I was like, "Oh wow, I chose something really complex." But it worked, like, I
Uh,
was able to, like, think it through and reason out, and it's quite comprehensive, which is just, like, an amazing thing to not have spent months on to have a capstone project like that, and then to think I have more free space to think about how I can refine it in the future. Yeah,
and you
it's
got burnt out by the end. You actually want more.
yeah, exactly, you don't hate every screen that you're looking at. Yeah.
So now you had mentioned that this feels like you have a superpower, right? So how do you feel about your marketability now compared to when you started or compared to other UX designers? How I let you pick however you want to answer that.
Yeah, I certainly feel so much more marketable. Like I mentioned, it helped me this course helped me gain confidence. So that alone is so valuable for understanding that I'm valued in the market, in the job market. And like I mentioned, I got a job actually during this course, and I start on Monday. I feel super excited to start because I know I have like tools in my back pocket to help me along, but also to elevate the team. Because I don't think that other teammates are necessarily using tools like this in the same ways that I've learned in this course. So it's it feels really exciting to bring others along with me. And yeah, it just like has opened my mind up to what possibilities are possible in the future with different future projects and um yeah, I feel like it's just taken my own curiosity and drive to learn to hyperspeed in a sense where I'm like, all right, let's keep learning. And of course I have to keep honing in and refining, but it's honestly really energized my learning.
Oh, love it, love it. And then I love how you said that not only that you have the confidence that you'll be okay in this new job, but you're actually already thinking about elevating your team.
Yeah.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah. I mean, that's certainly the hope, of course, like, we'll see, but the company does seem to really they wanna strive for innovation. We'll see if they walk the talk,
Yeah,
basically.
it's so cool to hear from, like what you described earlier, like how you started this journey with with fear, with a lot of fear and also doubt that, oh, I'm too junior. And now you're in this position like, okay, I don't feel afraid of anything. And I'm actually excited to elevate everyone else to lead that
Yeah.
way. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool. I'm really excited, and I feel like I have so many more options now. It's just, like, kinda helped me open up a whole world of possibility, and even in, like, the environmental impact realm where I'm in communication with different cohorts, specifically people from the group All Tech is Human, and there's a lot of amazing people doing good work there, and I'm like diving into being part of those conversations. Whereas before I'd be like quietly fearful about it, not engaging, and but feeling not good about it at the same time. But now it's like embracing that it's happening and it's not going to slow down. So what can I do to be a part of any potential positive change and also bring that into my current job that is an environmental institution. So it feels like it's marrying different like fears that I previously had into now like actually leverage and possibility.
So you had mentioned that you have new ideas for projects. Can you mention one or two of what you want to create next?
Yeah, so what feels really serendipitous is starting this course, and there's at the same time as a new project emerging with an old colleague of mine. And so it is based in the healthcare sector, and she's building an AI app, a AI healthcare app. And she, once things get to the right place, she wants me to design it. And so that, I mean, that timing's just really beautiful in terms of everything I've learned. Now I'm just excited to face the design challenges as opposed to being like, okay, like, yes, I know that AI exists and is important, but now I'm like, oh, I have great ideas and like drawing inspiration from definitely from the Grok app, although I don't love using that for obvious reasons myself, but it is helpful inspiration. And also so I'm like looking to that, and I I'm just so thrilled to get started on that in addition to this new job I have, and it just keeps culminating. Yeah, it just the timing of this course has been so meaningful because now all these like positive things are happening in my life while they're also aligning with my own morals, and I'm not shying away from the AI in my morals of it all, which is like it's interesting. It's not what I expected, but it also is really exciting, and it's helping me. I actually feel more involved in the future than fearful of it, like, of what's happening. So, yeah,
That's- yeah. So what would you say to someone watching this who's scared about AI taking over their job?
I would say I was there, and yeah, I was one of those people. And I would read articles being that would, like, reassure you, like, UX is so human-based, blah, blah, blah," like, and it would just be like, "Am I just convincing myself of this?" But,
Mhm.
yeah, now I feel and y I just feel so much more confident, like I've said, but it's also just an acknowledgement that this field is ever evolving, and that's the point. The
Mm.
To keep up with user demand and what users need, we need to keep evolving, and this is part of the evolution. So if we don't lean into it, then we're putting ourselves at a disservice and we're falling behind, is what it feels like. So now it's not like we need to be a humanoid, we don't have to fully integrate yet. Like we're
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like, who knows? And that's the scary thing, just no one knows, and that but instead of being fully fearful of that and thinking, like, that someone's gonna take or some AI is gonna take your job right around the corner, that technology is not there yet, by far. We still need to be driving it, and we also need to help ourselves by learning what it is, because you fear what you don't know, and instead of you taking hold and learning helps you see that, "Oh, actually, a lot of people don't really know." And having some knowledge base helps you elevate that knowledge for yourself and hopefully for others. And yeah, it's I think it's an important thing to lean into.
And if you could go back and talk to yourself before starting the course, what would you tell yourself?
Do it. Like, don't hesitate, because I was like, "Oh, well, I'll wait till the next cohort," and I'm so glad I didn't. The timing just was so right for me at this point in my life, and it was beyond worth it, and I don't even say that lightly. Like, I'm just absolutely genuinely, this course was beyond worth the cost of it, and also just like the experience and the people that I worked with, and you as a teacher, just absolutely transformational for what I've been looking for in this field. So do it is what I would say to my pass up.
Thank you, Chloe. So thank you
Yeah.
for all that. And with that, I'm going to end this interview. Thank you.